At first team level, Inter-Juventus is one of the biggest games in world football. The Derby d'Italia is revered across the globe for its passion, and today we'll get a sample of this riveting rivalry as the Nerazzurri and the Bianconeri youngsters strut their stuff in this, the mini Derby of Italy. Inter Tifosi, a very warm welcome from Thomas Lawrence of Inter TV. We're live from the Stadio Breda di Sesto San Giovanni for this mouth-watering clash. It's round 4 of the Primavera Championship, and the Inter under-19s go into this one in great form and looking down on their historic rivals in the standings. The Nerazzurri are joint first after 2 wins from the opening 3 league fixtures, while Juve are wallowing down in 13th after accruing just 1 win so far this term. Match official today, Luca Angelucci, will be assisted by Marco Lencioni and Giacomo Monaco as the 2 teams pose for the usual pre-match photo. Let's bring you the Nerazzurri starting lineup as we see Juve in your picture as I speak. In goal for Inter, Nicolas Bottis, the young Greek shot stopper, a back 4 of that man there, Mattia Zanotti, the skipper, Andy Hotti, Ale Fontanarosa and Franco Carboni. A 3-man midfield, Samuel Griga, Giovanni Fabian and Cesare Casadei, who was at the double last time out versus Bologna. Leading the line is Fabio Abuso, and he'll be supported today by Nicola Iliev and Oliver Jurgens. That the Nerazzurri starting 11, coached of course by Inter legend and treble-winning hero Cristian Chievo. So final checks from the match official. Juventus are going to get us underway here in this mini Derby d'Italia. And Juve will be playing from left to right here, with Inter on home turf and looking to continue their unbeaten start to the season at home and abroad. Last checks from the match official, and we are underway. The battle begins here. The Nerazzurri youngsters taking on their Bianconeri counterparts. Juve, as I've already mentioned, don't arrive here in the best of moods. Back-to-back defeats in the league. Last time out against Napoli, and to make matters worse, they lost their top scorer, Cibozzo, sent off and handed a 3-match ban after throwing a punch last time out. As we see Savona there for the Bianconeri in the picture, also their tactician, Andrea Bonatti, in his 2nd season in charge of the Juventus under-19s. The first, meanwhile, for Cristian Chievo, who started his coaching career at inter-youth level, originally with the under-14s. And there he is, Cristian Chievo, watching on. Expect him to bark orders from the first minute to the last as Inter make a really aggressive start here. Can they convert it? Can they get an early goal? In comes the shot. Curling effort. Giovanni Fabian giving Juventus an early scare here. Just over a minute on the clock. Giovanni Fabian is already up and running for the season. 2 goals to his name this term for the Inter number 14. Both coming in the opening rounds of the Serie A season. With Inter kicking off in style with a 3-2 victory against Lombardy rivals Atalanta. Franco Carboni popping up with a late winner. Then a 6-goal start, and that's a poor clearance from the Juventus shot stopper Senko. Can Inter capitalise? Really very aggressive. Inter coming charging out of the blocks here. Can they get a shot on target? The answer is no, it's blocked, but they do have a corner kick here. Cristian Chievo's men. Nicola Iliev, there, the Nerazzurri number 10, who goes across to the flag. Juventus a little rattled, a slow start from them. In it comes from Iliev. Not a bad-looking ball, and there's the header. Fabio Abuso trying his luck, attacking that with real purpose, the Inter number 22. And they're all queuing up there as we see the replay. In from Iliev, and Abuso, the glancing header. Already has 3 goals to his name this season. The team's top scorer, the Capo Cannoniere. Thanks to 3 goals. Although he fired a blank last time out. He didn't start that match, though, against Bologna. The goal heroes were Cesare Casadei with a double. And Nicola Iliev, as we said, very animated. Andrea Bonotti shouting at his players to try and really get them into gear. That's another mistake from the Juventus rear guard. You can tell they're perhaps low on confidence, the Bianconeri. This is very promising from Inter. Iliev now rolls it across. And again, Juventus survived the scare, but Inter knocking on the door. Kivu will be delighted with his team start. They're peppering the Bianconeri goal with chance after chance. Jurgens with that slide rule pass, and Iliev rolling it across. In the end, a good block, it has to be said, from the Juventus number 13, Muharemovic. Into those seeing all the ball in these early exchanges. As we're saying, an unbeaten start for Christian Kivu's side. Defeating Atalanta, a 6-goal stunner, 3-3 draw with Fiorentina in round 2. They defeated Bologna last time out, and in between, a 1-1 draw against Real Madrid in the Youth League. Real Madrid, the holders of the competition, so an excellent result for Kivu's men. Getting a last gasp equaliser thanks to a stunning goal from Francesco Nunziatini. If you haven't seen it, go onto the Inter YouTube channel and check it out. It was an overhead kick, a gorgeous goal. A golazzo, as they would say. As Jurgens puts a lot of pressure on Senko, the young Hungarian. Jurgens still looking to get off the mark for the season. Only one of the front three still looking to break his duck. Very confident play here from the Nerazzurri, passing around nicely. This is Franco Carboni, son of Ezequiel Carboni. Those of an older generation will remember him, ex-Catania. So Franco looking to follow in the footsteps of his father. And here he is, Carboni, who netted that winner against Atalanta in round 1. He's Mr. Assist as well. Franco Carboni, 2 to his name this term. Juventus trying to react here after a very good start from the Nerazzurri youngsters, the under-19s, who are joint top going into round 4 alongside Roma and Cagliari. They know if they win today Inter, they can go first outright, awaiting, of course, the other results of Roma and Cagliari later this weekend. Inter do play a very attacking brand of football under Christian Kivu. 9 goals scored, although 6 conceded, so that's perhaps an area to work on and of slight concern for the Nerazzurri. We're yet to keep a clean sheet this season. Is today going to be the day, and against stellar opposition, Juventus. It's at youth level, but it still means so much. We know the rivalry at first team level, what it means between Inter and Juventus. And this, as we said in our introduction, a sample, the mini Derby d'Italia, but the boys will want to do the club proud today. It's a hopeful ball upfield as Carboni chases. Such a dynamic player, so much pace as well, Franco Carboni. Juve try their luck on the break. As Carboni and company try and get back and regroup. And there is Carboni, got a touch to it. Danger not over as far as Inter are concerned. First real signs of Juventus. The shot comes in, and it's held by Nicolas Bottis, the 17-year-old Greek shot stopper, who gets the nod today ahead of Rovida in between the sticks. And then nice and simple, but to make sure he got his body behind the ball well there. We've seen keepers slip up in those situations before down through the years. As the cameras pick out Nicolo Turco, Juve's number 18, his first shot on target of the match, and Juve's first effort too tame, though, really to trouble the Inter shot stopper. Nice pace about the game as Iliev tries to find a bit of space. The referee got in the way and will halt the play. Iliev, the young Bulgaria youth international, who said on target last time out, Inter cruising to victory at Bologna. They're 3-0 up, and then they did give away a late penalty, which was converted by the Rossoblu. That was the only negative note from the Nerazzurri youngsters. This is Zanotti towards the byline. Zanotti, great pace. Still Zanotti pulls it back, unable to pick out a teammate. Ted Zanotti, the club's youth team skipper, who during pre-season was part of Simone Inzaghi's first team squad, so he took part with the pre-season preparations. He also got a run out against, amongst others, Lugano in pre-season, the first pre-season test for Simone Inzaghi's men. Inzaghi was said to be really impressed by Zanotti, one of several youngsters who shone during pre-season. The other, Martin Satriano, who's called up to the first-team squad for today. And he'll join the likes of Dzeko, Lautaro and Sanchez in the Nerazzurri first-team squad for that match against Atalanta. And let's focus back to this youth team Derby d'Italia, derby of Italy between Inter and Juventus. Chance to talk, of course, about the first team over the course of the match and, of course, throughout the day. For now, the focus is on Christian Chivu's boys. Christian Chivu in his first season in charge of the under-19s, as we said, started his youth career, coach at under-14 level with Inter, and promotions, under-17s, under-18s. Takes over the reins from Armando Madonna. This is Jurgens, goes looking for Abuser. It's up in the air. 50-50 ball. Juve first to it on that occasion. Griga, great battling in the middle of the park. And such a key to winning this match, the battle in midfield. As Griga, Fabian and Casadei look to get the better of Irvin Omic and company, the Juventus skipper. And they're starting to work their way back into the contest after a slow start. This is onside and played across by Mulazzi. It's bobbling about. In to get back, though, get numbers back. Cesare Casadei. And the team's more talented players as a curling effort comes in. It's high and it's wide, though, and it's not going to cause any concern to Nicolas Bottis. Juventus have also started their UEFA Youth League campaign, drawing against Malmo. So just the one victory then for them, coming on the opening day of the season against Fiorentina for the Bianconeri. And last season finished third in the regular season and went out in the playoff stage to the eventual winners, Empoli, who also defeated Inter at the semi-final stage. Heartbreaking circumstances after extra time. That was Armando Madonna's last hurrah as coach of the Inter under-19s, the Primavera, after 3 seasons at the helm, and Christian Chivu taking over throughout the summer. Chivu needs no introductions when it comes to his playing career. 75 caps for Romania, just under 170 appearances for Inter, winning the lot. Didn't have the best of records, it has to be said, as a player against Juventus. A handful of defeats, 5 to be precise. Hoping to fare better today than Christian Chivu. As Inter continue to see more of the possession, passing it around nicely here. Now wide once more to Mattia Zanotti from Brescia. Stone's throw away from Milan, one of the Lombardy rivals of Inter. Carboni a little bit imprecise there, an uncharacteristic mistake from him. His younger brother Valentin, also part of the Inter youth sector, playing at under 17 level. Carboni born in Argentina, represents Italy at youth level, so it's a very happy summer for him as well, seeing Argentina win the Copa America and then Italy win the European Championships. For Franco Carboni, hopes to make the step up one day also to international level, but one step at a time. Now focused and performing well for the Inter under-19s. It's a great shop window as well, showcase his talent, and that applies to the rest of his teammates, as Zanotti just too quick there. Inter's number 2. Need to take it quickly. Not the best of deliveries, but recovers well there. Fontana Rosa, who was chosen today ahead of Andrea Moretti in the heart of the defence. Ball down by Zanotti. There's a player down for Juventus. Into play on, it was Nzwango. Back up on his feet now, though, the Juventus number 5, and has to get back quickly, because Inter pressing high up the pitch. It's a characteristic, if you like, one of the traits of Chivu's teams. Try and win the ball back high up and capitalise right away. And it's not by chance that They forced Juventus into plenty of mistakes very early on in the early exchanges here. Senko just taking his time here, waiting for options. You can hear Savona aperto, so Savona is free. In the end, it does come to Savona, the Juventus number 2. Comes to nothing, though, for Andrea Bonatti's boys. Bonatti, who's actually started his career as a fitness coach before going into overall coaching. Started at Salernitana, also coached at Lazio at youth team level. In fact, he took over from the Lazio youth team when Simone Inzaghi was promoted to first team level back in 2016. And then from then on, Simone Inzaghi never looked back once he was promoted from Lazio youth team coach to first team coach. A rapid rise and 3 major honours as coach of Lazio. 2 Super Cups, 1 Coppa Italia, which happened to come against Atalanta, Inter's opponents later today. Inter found a bit of space on this right-hand side. Inter, though, opt to go for the safe option on that occasion. Keep possession, keep it away from Juventus and try and find another opening. Fontanarosa now plenty of time and space to carry it out from the back and bring it into the Juventus half. Carboni now marked tightly, no option but to go back. Juventus have almost everyone behind the ball with the exception of Turco. Zanotti rolled through. Iliev. Flag stayed down. Casadei's in acres of space, and the Zanotti goes for the delivery into the box. Need to start possession. What can they conjure up from this position? The answer is not a lot. They're forced all the way back from the Bianconeri. Also have a continental clash on the horizon, just like the Nerazzurri youngsters who take on Shakhtar next week. The Youth League mirroring the first team commitments. As we said, the focus for the moment has to be on the league, 1 match at a time. It's the only real strategy when you have a real tour de force. The matches come thick and fast at home and abroad. And they need the 3 points to really continue to stake their claim as candidates for the title. 9 youth championships overall for the Nerazzurri. Carboni now. Iliev onto his right foot, left foot. Nice feet from him. Just couldn't get the shot away. Real tricky customer. What will the referee decide here? Fontanarosa holds his hands up and apologises right away. Very apologetic. Knew he was late there. Nicolo Turco, the replay will confirm it. Yeah, it was a rash challenge, poorly timed, and Fontanarosa knew it. To his credit, immediately apologised. Referee playing the advantage, and this time, though, he does stop the play. Jurgens was clipped there and ready to race away into space, the young Estonian. Juventus, for their part, 4 youth championships. Well behind Inter, who have the record 9, a record they share with Torino. They're also a very formidable force at youth team level, Torino, just like Atalanta. The holders, though, are Empoli, winning it last season. As you mentioned, they defeated both these sides en route to their triumph, the Tuscan outfit. It was last triumph back in 2017-18 when they had the likes of Zaniolo, currently playing at Roma, and Pinamonti, who was with the first team last year at Inter and now at Empoli. Griga. Casadei leaves it for Fabian, chipped into the box, and that's easy for Senko. Comes rushing off his line to come and claim. Good confident goalkeeping from the Hungarian. Approaching the 20-minute mark after a lightning start from Kivu's boys. Back to even Stevens here. Even if Inter are seeing more of the ball, trying to play more of the football, Juve more chancing their luck on the break, although this is promising through the middle. Not the best of first touches, but Juve might get another opportunity here. Second bite at the cherry. The whistle's gone. Interceived by the bell. Turco, who's been one of Juve's better performers his opening 20 minutes or so, causing a few problems through the middle. Not the best of first touches from the number 18. From then on, he was always having to try and recoup and recover, and in the end a bit overzealous and committing the foul on Fontana Rosa. As I mentioned, gets the nod to the head of Andrea Moretti's on the bench, and you may see over the course of the match. And to also have the previously mentioned Nunziatini, who netted that wonder goal against Real Madrid. Scatola, another one who was reportedly in line for a start today, but begins the match on the bench. Fontana Rosa now. And Bonatti barking orders, aggressivo, aggressivo, aggressive, aggressive, so wants his players to close down the space quickly. Zanotti enters number 2, just such a cool customer, so comfortable on the ball. Carboni checking inside. Grigar. Casadei wants the give and go. Zanotti has to go back. Met by a Bianconeri brick wall, and here he is once again, Zanotti. Good sliding challenge from him, keeping Juventus at bay on that far side. Maybe a throw-in to be taken by Riccardo Turicchia, Juve's number 3. Shot there also of Samuel Illing Jr., the Englishman, ex-Chelsea. No chance to see too much of him so far, but there's plenty of time for that situation to change. Fabian. Hotti. Started his career in Zurich in Switzerland, the country where he was born, although he represents Kosovo at youth team level. Majority of these players yet to make their professional bows, although Fabio Abuso, on loan from Modena, has played for Modena in the 3rd tier, so a taste of what it's like with the big boys. But now they're looking to continue his development as Grigar is caught napping there. Opportunity for Juve to break away, but Inter recover really well. It was Luis Hassa who picked the pocket of Samuel Grigar. Just caught his eye off the ball, and Grigar looked to make amends immediately. The man playing in the playmaker role, which would be Brozovic's role at first team level. Zanotti in to let it run. Iliev now onto his right foot. Still Iliev stings the gloves of Senko. Excellent work from the young Bulgarian, who wins his side. A corner kick and a chance to keep up the pressure on the Bianconeri. Found that half yard of space to rifle it goalwards. And Inter perhaps break the ice from the flag. Iliev swung in from the flag. Another good-looking ball. It's bobbling about. It's flipper style there. And then the Bianconeri hook it away to safety, but for how long? Thrown on that far side to Kivu's boys. Certainly Andrea Bonatti, the more vocal of the two coaches. Exceptional delivery met by the head of Casadei, who scored 2 headers last time out. A hallmark from Inter's number 8. In the trial of their luck, this time down the left-hand side, Carboni. Tries to turn on the turbo. He's blocked, though, by Gabriele Mulazzi on this near side. Good number of spectators inside the ground as well, and press to follow this match, which attracts so much attention. Oh, nice flick there from Abuso! That's what he can do, Fabio Abuso. He just needs half a yard of space to conjure up a bit of magic. So close to a scorcher there. Inter's number 22. And he scored a similar goal back in round 1. He can do that. He has that in his locker, Fabio Buso. Juventus let off the hook, but they're looking to bounce back right away. It is end-to-end stuff here. Inter, certainly the more dangerous of the two teams. Juve's only shot on target coming from Nicolo Turco very early on. It was a tame effort as well. Zanotti looking for the options. Build again from the back. Zanotti, Hotti. Another one who had a chance to have a sample of first team football over the summer. Plenty of training sessions with the first team, and that's a mistake from Carboni. Molazzi could be in here. Back onto his left foot. Molazzi pulls it back. Turco breaks the ice. It's against the run of play, but Juve have the lead. Molazzi and Turco combining to make it Juve 1, Inter 0 on the 25th minute mark here. Sparking wild celebrations on the Juventus bench. It all stemmed from a mistake from Franco Carboni, gifting possession to the visitors. And Turco with a precise, low-drilled effort, beating Bottis and handing Juventus the lead here in this mini Derby d'Italia. It's harsh on Inter, who have had all the clear-cut opportunities so far. And as they say, if you don't take your chances, you can be punished, and Juve have done just that, and also capitalising on a very rare mistake from Franco Carboni this season, so decisive on many occasions. Have to try and keep his chin up, Franco Carboni. And his teammates will look to rally him, get him back to his best, and the coach as well. These things happen in football. The very best make mistakes. At all levels of the game and in all situations. There's plenty of time, as we said, to work his way back into the contest. I think the key in this situation is also to try and get the ball at your feet right away and build up that confidence levels. And here he is, Franco Carboni, and that's good to see. That's good character, to want the ball, to command it, and put a mistake like that immediately behind you. Zanotti. Nice turn of pace from Inter's number 2. Just got stuck there. The ball at the feet of Buso. Also say perhaps a real sliding doors moment. Buso, a few moments ago, almost broke the ice, and then minutes later, Juventus going up at the other end and scoring. Fabian getting back well, closing down space in the middle of the park. Iliev, who's been shining bright so far, wearing the number 10, which is normally the number given to the most talented, creative, flair player, and we've seen glimpses of what he can do, and giving Juve plenty to think about in his first 30 minutes here at the Stadio Breda di Sesto, San Giovanni, on the outskirts of Milan. Dana Rosa to passing it around at the back, Andy Hotti. Great guys free on this near side. Inter opt to try their luck down the right for the time being, trying to find an opening. Now they might try once again, trying to unleash Zanotti, trying to get in behind the Juve rear guard. And has he been able to win a corner kick? He has. complaints from the Juventus players, but the replay will clarify it. Who got the last touch? It was Turicchia. Was he protesting for a foul? In comes the corner. It's up in the air, 50-50. Juventus unable to clear their line. Zanotti floats it back into the mix. Jurgens onside. Has Carboni in support. Might go it alone. Jurgens still going. Jurgens trying to find space for the shot. In the end, opts to offload. Zanotti's there on the overlap. Grigar now. Iliev is here, there, and everywhere. Abuso trying to get the return pass to Iliev, and then foul committed inside the box. It's a real shame because that was a very promising move from Kivu's boys. Now going in search of the equaliser after looking the most likely of the two teams to actually break the ice. Senko. Taking his time here, in no rush. Knows that doesn't have to force the issue. With this side leading here. If you have just joined us or recently joined us, Nicola Turco splitting the two teams. And a Mulazzi assist. Inter, though, have had the opportunities to find the back of the net. And they have looked dangerous every time they ventured into the final third. Palleggia, pass it around. Those are the instructions from Andrea Bonatti. Spread out wide. This is Samuel Illing, the young Englishman. Plenty of teammates to aim for. Last touch coming off Matteo Zanotti. A very good game as always. So reliable, Matteo Zanotti. No surprise in that he caught the eye of Simone Inzaghi during pre-season. So Illing, after winning the corner kick, he'll take it from that far side. One-time Chelsea man. Plenty of Juve jerseys in the box there, but it's nodded away. Juve second bite at the cherry, comes to nothing. Throw into Inter on that far side. There's no Mattia Sangalli today in the Inter squad. He's been called up to the first team squad. Inter first team will take on Atalanta, 1800 local time at San Siro in a Lombardy derby. So we've got the Derby d'Italia here at mini level, youth level, and then the Lombardy derby, two regional rivals going head to head later today. Nerazzurri Milan and the Nerazzurri of Bergamo. Fontana Rosa hooks it upfield, and was he caught late in the process? The answer is yes. The referee, Luca Angelucci, stopping the play. Bit of argy-bargy there. They're very happy to allow into the possession. Try and soak up the pressure and then strike on the break. Fabian leaves it for Carboni. Does have a good throw on him, Franco Carboni. Still with Franco Carboni, played into the mix. Juventus keep it in play, keep it alive. Good pressing from the Nerazzurri. Suffocating pressing there from the Inter players, allowing Juve to spark a counter-attack. Mulazzi comes out to Savona. Checks back infield, the Juve number 2. What can Juve conjure up from this position? This is Samuel Illing, low ball in! And Juve double their lead. Illing with the assist. played right into the mix, and Turicchia was there, queuing up with the rest of them to bury it home from close range. Ortiz tries to rally the troops. It's a lovely give and go as well from Riccardo Turicchia. Started the move and he finished it off. And Juve's game plan so far paying dividends. Happy to allow Inter more of the ball, more of the possession and the bulk of the play, but they've been far more clinical, the Bianconeri, than their Nerazzurri counterparts, and that's why they're leading 2-0 here. And on course for what would be such an important win for them after their poor form of late and their shaky start to the season, both at home and abroad. As for Christian Chivu and his boys, it's back to the drawing board. But they still do have a little under 15 minutes to try and claw a goal back and have the game wide open again. So important they manage that. Zanotti. All the efforts, the chances they had, they definitely deserve a goal, Inter. This is Griga. Casadei, Zanotti. Up and down like a steam train down that right flank, Mattia Zanotti. The captain knows he has to really rally the troops and lead by example, as he always does, but now more than ever with his side 2 goals down. We did say also at the very start that Inter tend to leak 1 goal too many. In the final third, there's no faulting them, really. The goals have always come. They've been free-flowing this season, 9. Just up the other end, they know they must tighten up, especially if they want to make a point and send a strong message that they're up for the fight and they're one of the candidates for the title this season. Youth team level reminder, there's the regular season and then the playoff phase, which is always so exciting. Keeps it wide open right until the end, really. Teams can work their way into the playoff zone with a good end of season running. But the key, though, is, of course, to be consistent throughout and be in amongst the top places. And Inter, say, going into round 4 are just that, joint top with Roma and Cagliari. And they do have a chance, I say, with victory today to go outright first and pile the pressure on Roma and Cagliari ahead of their matches. Roma, who take on Pescara, and Cagliari at home to Sassuolo later on this weekend, as Juventus go up seeking a third here. And Carboni has other ideas. Good defending from him, easing the pressure on the Nerazzurri rear guard. Franco Carboni wasting no time with the throw-in as well. Inter, they have to make sure they keep their shape as well and keep the balance too. Naturally, they know they have to give a bit more now. They have to take a few more risks, but at the same time, they can't afford to lose their shape at the back and in the middle of the park and leave themselves open to counter-attacks, because that really would be a disaster and spell the end of their chances of gaining something from this match. They know they have a mountain to climb now, but there's plenty of time available. They have created the chances. They can create more chances. They have the players who can do just that, and they have plenty of options on the bench as well at youth team level. There's the 5 changes. The cameras pick out Andrea Bonotti. That should be very pleased how things are going. From the Lazio and Salernitana coach. Haven't seen too much of Christian Chivu. A few moments ago we saw him sat down in the dugout without plotting and planning his half-time team talk, and that's where the coaches really make their money. Now he's up on his feet though, Christian Chivu. Griga dropping deep in that playmaker role, the young Czech. Carboni. Wins his side, throw in. Franco Carboni. Long run up from him. Inter's number 6. Muharemovic hoofs it right upfield. Andy Hutti, bit of pressure on him, but deals with it pretty well there, Andy Hutti. No real other option but to play it back upfield. Just picking out there, Mattia Zanotti. He goes sliding in. Well-timed challenge from Zanotti. Certainly one of Inter's top performers in the first half. Mattia Zanotti, as I said, so reliable. Never lets the team down. Always rises to the occasion. Here he is once more. Zanotti. Flicked header from Abuso. Straight at the keeper. Encouraging signs, though, from Inter as they look to close out the first half on the front foot. Pinpoint delivery from Zanotti. Abuso jumping up highest. Glancing little header. Route 1 stuff from Senko. Zanotti wanted to take it quickly. And no support really there, Zanotti, so has to wait a few seconds and then gets it through to Fabian and Cazadei, who sent a real bit of pressure there, Cazadei. Iliev, need a bit of magic from him. Real spark, something. Someone has to just really take the situation by the scruff of the neck and inspire into the final 5 minutes plus added time here. Juve leading. Thanks to Turicchia and Turco. T-factor then for the Bianconeri youngsters coached by Andrea Bonatti. In terms of possession stakes, that's been more Inter. Unable really to build on that very aggressive start. Can't fault their approach and the attitude from the Nerazzurri. This comes down to you having more of the cutting edge in the final third. Being clinical, so key in football. We saw it at first team level at Inter against Real Madrid. That night, Inter certainly outplaying Real in the first half and the beginning of the second period, but unable to take their chances. Also, Courtois having an exceptional game as well, and in the end, Real Madrid nicking it right at the death. So we see it at all levels of the game, and that's to obviously give the Nerazzurri youngsters a bit of confidence that even Simone Inzaghi's boys at times have perhaps been found slightly wanting in the final third. That's, of course, the level they have to aspire to, these youngsters, to try and make that step up to first-team level. That's what it's all about, trying to produce talents who can then easily slot in from under-19 to first-team level. Of course, Inter have such a proud tradition at academy level of producing and churning out talents, and we'll chat about a few of them shortly as Fabian plays into the path of Cazadei. Iliev now. Carboni, first time ball from him. It's a good looking one as well. Can it keep in play? Still Inter in possession. They're knocking on the door. Fabian goes to ground and wins his side a free kick in a very promising position. We know Inter from set plays are dangerous. They're a force to be reckoned with. Stayed down, Giovanni Fabian. It appeared a seemingly innocuous challenge, but certainly caused him a few issues here. He's eventually helped back up to his feet by Nicola Iliev, who will take this free kick for Inter. And the final opportunities of the first 45 minutes, I don't think Fabian's going to be able to continue. You know, he's really struggling. He stayed down. Kivu may be forced into a change here. I'm really struggling. As we said, it didn't appear to be anything too serious, but something obviously we've missed out. I haven't been able to see from the replay. In the meantime, the medical staff on the pitch, and they'll try and understand what the issue is, whether it's simply a nasty knock or a muscular issue. But stay down like this, it must be something. Some of the magic spray goes on. Again, he's helped back up to his feet for the second time. He's hobbling, he's wincing in pain. We'll see whether that's the end of his afternoon or not. So Iliev to take. Needs a good delivery here. Plenty of nerazzurri shirts to aim for Nicola Iliev. Total concentration from Inter's number 10. Swung in and then hoofed away, hooked away by the Bianconeri rear guard. We're into the final minute plus added time. This would be some time to get a goal back and try and start swinging the momentum back in Inter's favour. Giovanni. Fontana Rosa. Botti now. Zanotti to the right. Another play passing down that right-hand side in the first 45 minutes for Inter. And to try and unleash Nicola Iliev, one of their talents, unable to do so. And it looks like Juventus are going to go into the break with a commanding lead. Bonotti will be very pleased with how things are going. Christian Kivu less so, and knows he has to pick his boys up and perhaps even think about changing something shortly. Carboni now. Swung in from the Italo-Argentine. Griga nods it back towards the danger zone. Referee giving the advantage to Juventus. 1 minute of added time. Bottis, no time to lose. And have to just get it upfield. We're into the final 30 seconds of the first half. Kivu saying abuso, abuso, so get it to Fabio Abuso, the target man. Griga. Fontana Rosa, back with Griga. One last roll of the dice then before the first half comes to a close from the nerazzurri. Zanotti, Griga. Referee glancing at his watch. Less than 10 seconds to go. Iliev. Carboni. Can he get beyond his marker? Savona. The answer is no. And that will be the end of the first half. Juventus are in the driving seat. They're leading 2-0 thanks to goals from Turco and Turicchia. Andrea Bonotti there in your picture will be very pleased with how things are going. Inter know they have to try and hit back in the second half. Don't go away though, we'll be back shortly for live action here from the Stadio Breda di Sesto San Giovanni.
Vai. 4, 5, 6, sei fuori. Sono le righe, voglio la cassa. Toglila. 1, 2, con calma, Salvi, calma. 4. Sponda verde. Levalo. Verde. Ecco la verde. La palla è sempre qua. 4, 5, 6. Gaia, dacci una mano, se no non palleggiamo, 8, 9. Sì. Buona. Dai. Gliela dentro. 2, 3, 4. Verde. Lasciala fuori. Quanto manca? Dai i tempi. Voglio i tempi. Un minuto. 2. 4. Bravo. 1, 2. Dai, aiutala. 3, 4, 5, 6. Dentro. 7. Bravo, Cola, vieni. Cola. 8, 9. Caldi prima, Nunzia, pensa buona. Prima. Bravo, Caldi. Portala via. Bravo, Cola. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dubbia, dai, ti riparto dal capo, dai, te lo do. 1. Gioca. Va bene Andrea, va bene. 2. Bravo. 4.
Siamo 30 secondi, Dima.
6. Bravo. Rossa.
Pensa prima, Carbo che ti arriva.
1.
Pensa prima, Moro.
2. 3. 4.
Eccolo qua.
Gioca. Bravo. 6. 7. 8. 9. Buona. 1.
Cambio.
Buona questa, vai.
Ale. Pensa prima, sponda, bravo.
Saga.
Bravo. È stato bravo Nunzia.
Uomo, lascia giocarla prima. Guarda, solo. 2. Ancora rosso. No, perché?
Ehi,
2. 3. Vai, Matta, vai. 4. Bravo, Gaglia.
bravo. Gaglia hanno bisogno di te, ragazzi, se no non palleggiano.
9. Buona. 1. Uomo.
Solo!
4.
Uomo solo, aiutate!
Solo.
No, laterale, verde.
Solo. 4. Solo.
Si gioca, vai.
Arriva. Solo.
Solo tocchi avete dentro, con calma. Rimane.
Eccola, Moro.
Dai, Rossi, Ale.
1. Vicini, gioca vicino alla sponda, ha bisogno. Ragazzi, la sponda! C'è un tocco solo, dovete giocare vicini alla sponda! Vi devo far vedere come se fosse pressato!
Ehi, Sanga!
Presa ora! 3!
Esci, Sanga, veloce!
5!
Solo.
1! Vicino alla sponda! 2! 3! 4! 5! Vicino!
Ciela con calma.
6! 7! Calma! 8! 9! Buono! 2!
Allargati.
4,
Un minuto, andiamo.
Rossa gioca, vola.
Solo.
1,
Gioca.
2, ancora scala. 4, 5. Gioca. Gioca. 1.
Subito sulle sponde.
Sanga, io, rimani là!
Bravo.
Gioca, buono, te la do. Gioca. Gioca, Moro.
2.
Allargati.
2.
1. Esci.
1. Vicino. 2. Marti. 4.
Solo.
6.
30 secondi, andiamo. Rossi.
1, 2.
Ehi, spesche!
Solo.
Sanga io!
Rossa. Tocchi. Rossa. Dai, gioca.
Fatti vedere, come ci sono qua, More. Lunga. Voglio bello questo, Ragazzi pronto, via.
2.
Sanga!
9.
Gaia.
Buona.
Qua.
Arriva tutta. 2.
Veloce. Andrea. Eccolo qua. Dimash.
1. 2.
Solo colà.
Vai! Ora giocano!
Rossa, l'ha toccata a lui. Dai, Rossi. Andiamo, D'Ambro. Dove vado?
Solo.
2!
Riaggressione, Carbo. Appena si perde.
Rossa. Vai. 2.
Uomo solo. Solo, Carbo, muoviti, che ancora ha bisogno.
Giusta cola. 6, 7, 8, 9. Buona.
Bravo, Moro.
2. Bravo, 3.
Solo, Gaia.
6.
Andiamo, Andrea, Matti.
9. Buona.
2 rosso. Bravo, Dima. Solo. Andiamo, Sapri che lo mangi in anticipo.
3.
Andiamo, Sapri, continua.
Solo.
Esci.
2.
Solo.
Franco! Solo di conquista importante!
Dai, Carbo. riaggressione, dai Cola che è finito, dai! Riaggressione, Dambro, andiamo!
9, buona. 1, 2, 6 pari.
Vieni.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Buona. 1, 2,
Corriamo.
1
verde. Cambia.
da Rossi.
No, ora hai Rossi. Ale, solo, Gaglia, eccola. Solo Gaglia. Guarda, fai
Solo. 5. Portala via, 6, 7, 8. Brava Marta. Ancora Rossa.
Solo, More.
Dai, che forza. 1, 2.
Solo Gaglietti, eccomi.
Vai More, fai aiutagli More. 3, 4, 5,
Ecco il Cola.
6,
Ale.
7,
Bravo, Cola.
8.
Solo Gaglietti.
Buona, 1.
Solo piccolo. Non vedi il cazzo così.
Rossa.
Solo Moro. Solo Gagliatti, prima gioco. Solo Gagliatti. Solo.
Dai, Verdi su. 4.
Solo io, More.
8. 9.
Solo.
1. Rosso. 2.
Solo. Opa. No, è buona, Moro. Solo.
Fuori. Vai, batta. 1. Dai. 2.
Solo.
Fuori. Alta. Verdi, alta. Solo.
Compatti.
Rossa, gioca rosso. 1, vamos che arriva.
Solo. 20 secondi, vediamo. Solo, girati.
9.
Muovila. Opa. Solo.
8, 9.
Dov'è?
Buona. Guarda. 3, 4, 5, 6. Senza andare terzo uomo Danilo.
Bravo Dambro, terzo uomo. Bravo Dambro.
Buona.
Ecco Gaglia.
Robby sta sempre dentro,
Robby, gioca dentro tu, Robby.
Bravo, Dimash. 1, 2, vai, 1. Solo, Rana. 2, 3, 4.
Bravo, vieni Dima.
6, 7.
Solo,
1, 1, 2, 3. Guarda. Ecco il terzo uomo. Rossa.
Guarda.
Scivola. 1, Carbo. 2.
Dai, veloce, gioca ancora un occhio, vai dentro.
Si esce qua.
Gioca, Andre 3, dai.
1.
Pressa Colaro. Sponda, sei libero sempre. Andiamo, 3 minuti e abbiamo finito.
5 rosso, 1, presa, Verdi. 2.
Entra
e muovono. Data. 1 e 2 e 4. Il secondo passo. Secondo passo.
Vai Matte, con lo stop e gioca. Via, bravo.
Vai Verdi, recupera Federico. Ora. Dima, l'aspetta. Chi siete?
Andiamo Dambro. Sabri, come on.
6, 7,
Uomo.
2, 3, 4.
Solo, Frato, solo, prima.
1.
Dai, Dimas, gioca, aspettala fuori la palla. Dai la cola, che è lì da 2 minuti.
7.
Che peccato sta
Portala via il primo controllo, Franco. Bravo, Carbo, va bene, la giusta. 1.
Buona.
1.
Bravo, non fai. Gioca.
Tutto buono.
Carbo.
1.
Tiela, Gaglia, fagli respirare un attimo. Bravo, Satri. 30 secondi, andiamo, Matteo. Andiamo ancora, 30 secondi. Moro, vai col D'Ambro, Moro. Vai col Cola, Moro.
Forza si fa punto, Matteo. 4. Fa il punto. 5. 6. Forza dentro.
Vieni qua.
Fa il punto. 8. Punto, finisce il tempo. Fa il punto. 10. Ora.
Bravi, bene.
Inter-Tifosi, welcome back to the Stadio Breda, the Sesto San Giovanni, where Juventus are currently leading 2-0 against their nerazzurri counterparts, and they're about to make a change as well. The youngster Galante about to come on, Juve's number 27. So we're going to see a change up top. Tommaso Galante to come on shortly. He's waiting in the wings. In the meantime, a huge shout out to our international fan base that are following us today around the world. A reminder, we're live on YouTube broadcasting this mini Derby d'Italia, which isn't going quite the way we wanted so far, but there's still a second 45 minutes to play and plenty of time for Inter to try and turn the situation around. Turco, the man coming off then for Juventus, as the referee Luca Angelucci makes his final checks and gets us back underway for the second half. Inter playing from left to right, and of course in their traditional home jersey, the nerazzurra, the black and blue. Juventus, the visitors, in their traditional bianconero, the black and white stripes. And Inter know they have to really make a strong start here. They need a goal. It has to come shortly, really, to start trying to turn the tide, invert this negative trend. If you'd amidst the first 45 minutes, Inter made a very aggressive start to the match, and they enjoyed plenty of clear-cut opportunities. But Juventus broke the ice. They capitalised on a very rare and uncharacteristic mistake from Franco Carboni to take the lead, thanks to Nicolo Turco, who's subsequently been replaced by Galante. As Inter struggle here in these this first minute here, really under the cosh here. Juventus full of confidence, and then as we were saying, Juventus then doubling their lead thanks to Turicchia, who started and completed a sweeping move with Samuel Illing Jr., the Englishman, providing the assist and allowing Juventus to go into the break in the driving seat, leading 2-0. And the one change from then Andrea Bonatti, the Juventus tactician. Nicolo Galante coming on for Tommaso Galante coming on for Nicolo Turco. Inter yet to make any changes. So a case of as you were from Christian Chivu. As the referee says play on, no foul. Nicola Iliev going to ground. And, Juventus found a bit of space on this left-hand side. Turicchia pokes it through to the new entry. Tommaso Galante just come on. A wayward pass. Maybe Oliver Jurgens can capitalise into his number 9, the young Estonian. There's plenty of pressure on the Bianconeri rear guard. Turicchia wants it on this left-hand side, and he's chasing away here at this loose ball. Andy Hotti recovers really well. And back with Nicolas Bottis. So Inter's hopes of a clean sheet, a first clean sheet of the season, scuppered. They'll have to try their luck against Shakhtar next week when the UEFA Youth League returns. And it's important for Inter. Get another positive result after their 1-1 draw against Real Madrid. It's massive for the first team as well, of course, after that narrow loss to Real Madrid at the San Siro on match day 1. Inter at first team level do have a very good record against Shakhtar. As Juventus make a minor mistake at the back, but they're let off the hook as the cameras pick out Christian Chivu. And in the meantime, Nicolas Bottis racing off his line to thwart the danger. Nice pace about the match. Good intensity as Mulazzi beaten to the punch there. The man who set up the opener, Gabriele Mulazzi. And here he is involved again, the Juventus number 14. Bonetti not to be confused with Bonatti, the Juventus tactician. Molazzi, nice little dart down that right-hand side, met by the head of Hassa. Then the wayward follow-up effort from the Bianconeri. Can't fault Turicchia for having a crack and trying to grab his second of the match. The Juventus number 3. Spoke earlier in the game about Inter's proud tradition at youth level and the kind of talents they've churned out down through the years. The latest, you could say, would be Martin Satriano. Made his first team bow against Genoa back in round 1 after a very good pre-season and shining last term with the Inter under-19s. Going back down through the years, there's the likes of Mazzola, Facchetti, and of course the golden generation of Ferri, Zenga, Bergomi in the 80s. In recent times, the likes of Balotelli as well, Biraghi, coming through at youth team level. For Duncan. Martins as Zanotti with the long throw. This is Grigar, first time effort from him. It's still bobbling about, and Casadei sees his effort blocked. Inter's number 8, capped at youth level for Italy. One of the star performers last time out against Bologna. Now Abuso, pure strength and his physicality, trying to just barge his way through there. Juventus trying to just pass their way out of trouble, and it looks like they've done just that. Lewis Hassan out. Not quite so precise. Carboni picks it out now. Zanotti checks in field, skips past one Zanotti. Lovely play from him. Pokes it through to Jurgens. Still with Inter, but I think the flag has gone up on Inter's number 9. Was unable to beat the offside trap. There's a thrilling passage of play, though, with Matteo Zanotti riding that challenge. And correct decision from the match officials. Marco Lencioni and Giacomo Monaco, the assistants today of Luca Angelucci. Up in the air, 50-50. Jurgens jumps up as well. The diminutive striker. And Zanotti involved once again, having a blinder. Inter's number 2. Meantime, an update on Giovanni Fabian, who took a knock towards the end of the first half, but he's okay, and he's re-emerged for the second half, taking his place in that 3-man midfield of Samuel Griga and Cesare Casadei. And through that lineup once again, Nicolas Bottis in goal, Carboni, Fontanarosa, Hutti, Zanotti at the back, Fabian, Griga, Casadei in midfield. Up top, Abuso, Jurgens and Nicola Iliev. Just caught out there, Cesare Casadei, and Juve sparking forwards here. Fortunately for the Nerazzurri, misunderstanding between Luis Hassa, Juventus number 7, and Samuel Illing Jr., Juve's number 11. Inter let off the hook. We know Inter have to up the ante a bit and force the issue a bit more. They simply have to, and it might mean leaving themselves a little bit exposed at times, but they have no choice really. They must claw a goal back. It has to come shortly. As things stand, this will suit Juventus. They'll be happy to sit on their lead. They have a commanding lead, a strong lead. And it would be so important for them to return to winning ways after the back-to-back losses. Of course, that one against Napoli last time would have hurt as well, losing Chibozza to a 3-game ban after his dismissal that day. Plenty of space for Juventus to run into. Hassan now trying to get in behind Andy Hutti. Nicolas Bottis, the 17-year-old Greek shot stopper, read that well. Route 1 stuff from him. Anyway, keeping it on the deck Bonetti. Hilling Jr. back with Bonetti. Here is Fabian, holds it up. Casadei, Zanotti up from the back once again. Not the first time we've said that this afternoon. Tireless performance from him. Checks inside, Zanotti. Fabian, Griga in that holding role. Epic Brozo style, Marcelo Brozovic style from Griga. Looking to dictate the pace, pull the strings. We could have a change shortly. Looks like Pescetto warming up. Zanotti floats a good ball in. It's a teasing ball. Fabian first to that loose ball. Out wide. Went looking for Carboni. It's picked out by the Juventus rearguarder Mulazzi. Inter nick it back right away though earlier. That will please Christian Chivu. And that's more like it. That'll give the team a lift, a boost. After a even first opening 10 minutes of the second half. Hotti out wide. Iliev dropping deep to pick up possession, trying to shake things up. Carboni swings one in. Juventus survive. And get it upfield. Galante on the turn. Turning on the turbo, Galante. Has Hassa in support. Can he pick him out? Still going, the youngster. Oh, this is very good football indeed from Juventus. And in particular from that man, Galante, on that far side. Waited, timed his run to perfection. Then offloaded. And picked out Ervin Omic, the captain. And still Omic now. Hassa onto his left foot, blocked. Into a little bit shaky here, a little bit rattled. Well, let's see. Full marks to that man there. Now we will see Inter's first change. It is going to be Pescetto to come on. Another Jurgens, I believe, to make way. It is the young Estonian who comes off. Inter's number 7 comes on. Having a double change, it looks like, as well. Ciatini also warming up as well. And here he is, Ciatini. Inter's number 18 ready to come on. Johnny Fabian makes way. In the meantime, he picked up that knock in the first half. Wondering whether he's still suffering the effects of that. So Nunciatini, chance to chat about him shortly. Takes over from Fabian, and Ovuzu comes on for Iliev. He's had a good game. Perhaps petered off slightly. It was the tail end of the first half, but really a good, solid performance from him. An opportunity, though, for Ovuzu into his number 30. To show what he can do in these final 35 minutes or so here. Down by Hotti. Casadei keeps it in play. As Pescetto in support, offloads to Zanotti. Checks inside, left foot cross. It's a good one too. Teasing ball right into the heart of the danger zone. Juve, though, soak up that pressure. And they look to hit back right away. Hassa still going. Here's Hassa. Holds it up, waits for support, arrives in the form of Turicchia. Back with Hassa. Bonetti. There's number 10. Again, knows there's no need to force the issue, force the situation. Can play with calma, as the Italians would say. Play at their own pace. And here he is once again, Bonetti. Hassa surrounded by a sea of Inter jerseys and draws in defenders and wins a foul. That's good play from Juve's number 7. And the frustration perhaps creeping in there from Zanotti. Nunciatini beaten to the punch. Francesco Nunciatini, a summer arrival from Livorno, and he managed to play at Serie B and Serie C, the 3rd tier. And the 2nd tier of Italian football during his time with the Tuscans. Now looking to really leave his mark at Inter. Francesco Nunziatini takes over from Giovanni Fabian in the midfield, and here he is, the man who scored that cracking goal against Real Madrid, a bicycle kick, an overhead kick as it swung in, aimed towards Peschettola. Zanotti has time and space here, needs a good delivery, can do better, he knows that, Mattia Zanotti, but still Inter in possession. Hotti, Zanotti's free on the right-hand side, comes back to Zanotti. Trying to find a bit of space, combining with Peschettola, the sub, who's just come on, Inter's number 7, former Pescara man amongst others, Peschettola. Previous experiences also with Kivu at under 17 and under 18 level. They're trying to work themselves into a crossing position, trying to draw out also some of the Juventus players and find space in between the lines. Nunziatini. Mavuzu's just come on. Griga. Hotti. Zanotti. Right to left, left to right, trying to also stretch the Juventus team. Peschettola, not the best of first touches, goes towards the byline. Can he keep it in play? Can he win a foul for his side? Enzo Peschetto, you could hear, puntalo, puntalo, take him on, take him on. Try and beat your marker. Those were the instructions that were coming from the dugout. You can see a little shove there, little shoulder, a bit of physicality from Samuel Illing Jr. It's a good position for Inter. They made a triple change to try and turn the tide and shake things up here. It's going to be Peschettola to take, who's just come on. This would be some impact if he can provide an assist here. Christian Kievu pacing up and down in his technical area. Swung in from Peschettola, nodded away, and in comes the follow-up effort from Franco Carboni, who's waiting in the wings. Another one who knows he can do better from those kind of positions. He's got a real strong strike on him. Can really hit them, Franco Carboni. And by his high standards, you know he'll be a little bit disappointed about that because he can hit the target from that kind of range. Man, he is up and running for the season, scoring the winner against Atalanta, 2 assists as well to his name. So he's been one of the stars in this early part of the season. We're only at round 4, of course, in the Primavera Championship. Galante offloads, low ball aimed towards Hassa. A lot more space, a lot more open this second half compared to the first, as we'd expect with Inter trying to desperately find a way back into the contest. Peschettola. This is Griga. And Czech. Always available for the option, Griga, often in the right place at the right time, as all good holding midfielders should be. It's lumped up field. Unable to bring it under control, and Carboni struggles as well to win possession, but he does that. Referee says play on, no foul, despite some tame protests from the Bianconeri. Peschettola drifting in field. Griga once again. So much of the play passing through him. Here he is once more. Has a look up. And flows down to the right. Zanotti onto his left foot. Swung in, and this time not so accurate from Mattia Zanotti. Went for that deep ball in towards that far post. Aiming for Cesare Casadei. Last season was one of the younger players in the Inter under-19s, and I feel this is his season really to stamp his authority on this team and this championship. Cesare Casadei, very talented midfielder. Illing down the line. Hassa. Sadiki up there in support as well, the Juve number 3. Mentioned a bit about some of the youth products that Inter have produced, but it's the same for Juventus as well. Down through the years, you could say arguably one of the most famous ones to emerge is Claudio Marchisio. Started as a young boy, in the Juventus ranks and going all the way to the first team. He did have a lone spell at Empoli, but his career dedicated to the Turin Giants. Claudio Marchisio, currently since retirement now, currently working as a pundit in the game, as so many do. Once they hang up their boots, as Turicchia rolls that across the face of the box. Christian Chivu, meanwhile, opting, though, to put himself in the limelight as a coach. No better place, really, though, to cut your teeth than youth level. We've seen Simone Inzaghi start there, Filippo Inzaghi, for example. Plenty start out, gain some experience, whether it be at youth team level or as assistant. For example, Sinisa Mihailovic starting as Roberto Mancini's assistant, or vice allenatore, as the Italians would say. We're about to see another change. Hassa comes off. Very lively performance from him. He's replaced by Christian Sekularac. Juventus number 26. So a midfielder off and a midfielder on. So 25 minutes to play plus added time. Clock continues to tick down and time running out for Inter. And just like in the first half, they've continued to see the bulk of the possession. So in that sense, the match has continued very much in the same vein of the first half. Inter, though, yet to work Senko since the restart. They did very early on in the first half on more than one occasion. In fact, it's Juventus have come closest to scoring in this second period of Uso. Otti. And to have Juve camp deep in their own half, Senko comes and claims them. The Hungarian shot stopper, good confident goalkeeping from him. Senko would, who knows, he has some very famous predecessors when it comes to Juventus goalkeepers down through the years. From Buffon to Peruzzi to Zoff. He has to be very ambitious if he wants to reach those levels. As Avuso plays it out to Carboni. Not the best of deliveries from Franco Carboni. I don't know whether he's perhaps mentally still feeling the effects of that early mistake in the first half, which allowed Juventus in to break the deadlock. Pescetola. Can he get the better of Samueling? Answer is yes and no. Does get the pass away. But Juve have the goal kick. At the other end, it's the same also for Nicolas Bottis, the young Inter shot stopper. Knows that down through the years, and Nerazzurri have had some incredible shot stoppers. We mentioned Walter Zenga earlier on. Julio Cesar, Pagliuca. More recent years, of course, Sami Handanovic. That'll surely be a foul. The referee gives the advantage. Kazadeh of Usu. Inter's number 30. Halted in his tracks, though, by Ervin Omic. Wins it back, though, of Usu. Great play from him. Still of Usu. Goes to ground. Goes appealing. Goes looking towards the match official. Penalty appeals, though, waved away. And now Juve on the break. Played across. The substitute might get a goal here, you know, onto his right foot, and it's blocked. He's just come on, Christian Sekularac, and he almost had an instant impact. End-to-end staff at one end. Inter went appealing for a penalty kick. It was waved away, and then Juve pay no concern, of course, playing to the whistle quite rightly, going up at the other end and almost getting a third. And Inter will make their fourth change of the afternoon. Samuel Griga comes off and Goffi comes on. So it's a midfield off and a striker coming on. So a real sign of intent from Christian Chivu, how he intends to try and finish this match. Real attacking formation. Good work from Andy Hotti to try and close down that space and thwart the Bianconeri. In comes the corner. You have to push up, drive Juve back. Zanotti picks that one out well. Hazardé caught in possession. His number 26, Sekularac, been involved already on a couple of occasions, and he's just been thrown into the fray as well. Whereas Inter have now turned to Riccardo Goffi, who is one of the more senior figures in this side at the age of 19. As we see the first yellow card of the match, and it goes to Franco Carboni. We've mentioned it's not been his afternoon so far. That first half mistake, that wayward pass, which allowed Juventus to then go and break the deadlock. A few misplaced passes and deliveries which haven't been that accurate by his very high standards. We all know he can do much better, but it's a learning process, and perhaps a bit of frustration as well there with that rash challenge. No, he can do better. We've seen him in action with the first team as well at pre-season in the friendlies. And again, he showed a lot of promise and glimpses of what he can do. So, know that Franco Carboni can do better. Nunziatini now. Having said that, with Carboni, we've seen his pace, his physicality, his dynamic approach as well. That's never been missing, and his commitment to the cause. Referee just getting involved there. Riccardo Goffi complaining, and the referee, the slight hesitation, stopping the play. And then in position back to the Nerazzurri. Zanotti. Peschettola onto his left foot. Played in. Inter can't bring it under control. And then Riccardo Goffi far too overzealous there and committing the foul in the process. Has set up one goal this season, Riccardo Goffi. But he's still looking to open his account. He's a local lad as well from Milan. And his number 11. Carboni keeps it in play. Fontana Rossa can't do the same, and it's a thrown on that far side. I think the adjective would be comfortable for Juventus in this second half. They've not seen much of the ball, but they've not afforded any real clear-cut opportunities to the Nerazzurri. Senko's had very little to do. Peschettola now. Might go it alone. Peschettola does go it alone. It's blocked by the Juventus rear guard. As for Inter, certainly committed would be a good adjective. You can't fault the effort, the spirit. Doing all they can to try and find an opening. They're looking to either stretch the Juventus and use the wing play of Zanotti and now of Uso. Trying their luck at times through the middle as well for the target man Abuso. It's so far unable to find a way through. Can they change that situation now, though? Christian Kivu's boys get up a goal and set up a grandstand finale. He's looked to his bench as well. Christian Kivu, so far it hasn't had the desired effect. He forced to go back to Nicolas Bottis. To mention, gets that nod to the head of Rovida. Recent years, Inter have had Filip Stankovic in between the sticks, the son of Dejan Stankovic. Vuso, not the best of first touches. Can he recover? The answer is no. Galante offloads. Still with Mulazzi. And they just have to be so careful in those situations, getting caught out on the break. We have not to commit too many men forward. Mentioned Filip Stankovic, currently on loan at Volendam. His father, meanwhile, Dan, currently coaching Red Star Belgrade. Pescetola rolls it through. This is Goffi. Onto his left, rolled across by Riccardo Goffi. Can he be a super sub? Still with Goffi. Tries to get beyond Turicchia. Low ball in. It's met by Samuel Ealing, and not a Nerazzurri jersey, unfortunately for Riccardo Goffi. And unfortunately for the Nerazzurri tifosi who are tuning in to follow Kivu's boys. Chance for a throw in though. Inter are dangerous from these kind of dead ball situations. As we saw against Real Madrid in the Youth League, Pescetola lets it bounce. Everyone behind the ball for Juventus. They're trying to lay siege onto the Bianconeri goal. Unciatini curls one in. And Senko. Never going to be troubled with that one. Watched it. Plucked it out from the air. He's on course for that clean sheet, which means so much to keepers and defenders. Of course, would add extra gloss to a potential victory for the Bianconeri. It's still 15 minutes away, though, plus added time. But on this evidence, it could be good to bring it home. Olazzi. Maremovic carrying it out from the back. Bonetti. Ealing. Lots of pace on that effort from him. Far too central, though, really, to trouble Bottis. Keeps the score at Inter 0, Juventus 2. In the last round, Inter had a slow start away to Bologna, and all the goals came in the second half. So let's hope that's perhaps a positive omen, and history can repeat itself, and they can produce an incredible comeback here. On home turf, they want to send the Bianconeri packing. Zanotti. Pescetola. Flag stayed down. Still with Pescetola. Has Nunciatini in support. Plays it in himself. Pescetola. The whistle has gone. The referee spotted something inside the box. Only one yellow card has been brandished in this mini Derby d'Italia, and that was given to Franco Carboni. As for the rest, it's been a couple of challenges in the first half, which you could say perhaps borderline on the limit, but overall all very fair. The players take advantage of this substitution to take on fluids. Double change then from Juventus in Chitti come on for Bonetti. Now we're going to see another change. Samuel Ealing Jr., who set up Juve's second, getting a well-earned rest, and he'll be making way for, I believe, Tommaso Maressa. It is Tommaso Maressa. There's two Tommasi or Thomases on the pitch. There's Tommaso Galante, now Tommaso Maressa. And confirmation that previously we saw Alessandro Citti come on for Bonetti. So that was actually a defender coming on for a midfielder. So perhaps Juventus looking to shut up shop and really defend this lead. Perhaps close out a more defensive approach. You know, Inter, it's in stark contrast. They now have 4 forwards out on the pitch. Goffi, Avuso, Pescetola as well, who's playing in a more advanced role. Of course, Casadei and Nunciatini like to have a crack and get forward as well, the midfielders. Doubling up there, the Nerazzurri players on the Juve number 29. Tommaso Maressa, who's only just come on. We have the Inter player saying, welcome to the party. Marking him tightly. It's a real shame if Inter couldn't turn this around, because it's an opportunity, as we said, to have gone first outright in the championship, awaiting the results of Roma and Cagliari. Zanotti knows he has no time to waste as he lengthy run up for this throw-in. Lots to aim for the Inter skipper. And plays it short. Nunciatini, Zanotti tries to get the shot away. Settles for a corner kick on this near side into next week. Take on Empoli, the holders of the Primavera Championship, the Under-19 Championship. And it's a case of revenge for Inter, who lost to Empoli in the semi-finals last season, as the corner comes in. A spectacular effort from Nunciatini. Acrobatics from him. He's done that before, as we said, against Real Madrid. He's got it in his locker, still with Inter. Peschetola works his way into the box, twisting, turning, has Avuso in support, comes to the Italian. Played in from Avuso, nodded away from Juve. Danger on over, though, as far as the Bianconeri are concerned. Avuso once again, now on the right-hand side. He's here, there, and everywhere. Still Avuso, plays in, it's a deep ball. Not accurate enough, though. Savona will just take his time on that far side for the Bianconeri. Goffi in there quick, picks the pocket of Savona. Oh, and then lets himself down with a pass. Such a shame, did all the hard work, but he might get a second bite at the cherry, you know. Disappointing, real shame after some good work from Goffi. As for Juventus, they take on Sampdoria in the next round of matches in round 5, but that is scheduled for mid-October. The Primavera Team Championship will take a break for a few weeks. At first team level, meanwhile, the break is to come at the start of October. Means first team have Atalanta today at 1800, and then Champions League commitments versus Shakhtar, and then Sassuolo on the road to cap off this real intense run of matches at home and abroad for Simone Inzaghi's men. But let's focus back to Christian Kivu's boys. They try and finish this match with pride and desperately seeking a goal to set up that grandstand finale we all want and all hope for here. Swept away by Tommaso Maressa. 50-50, won by Fontanarosa. Peschetola and Avuso have switched flanks, you would have noticed. Into number 7 now playing on that left-hand side, and Avuso on this right-hand side. Referee stop play. Has he got a card out? I'm not sure. Is he? This is why stop play for the substitution. That's the reason why. It is number 29, Pellamati, to come on, get a run out in the dying embers of this contest. It is number 29 coming on for Franco Carboni, who's on a booking as well. The Italo-Argentine Franco Carboni. A straight swap for the Nerazzurri as Carboni trudges off and cuts naturally a disappointed figure, as you'd expect with your team losing such a passionate game against one of your biggest rivals. And still, though, a little over 6 minutes to play. can't fault the effort, the commitment from Inter. Keep on trying and trying, but they just keep being met by a Bianconeri brick wall. None shall pass, say the Juventus youngsters. You know, they have some important role models to look up to, likes of Bonucci, Chiellini, and Delict. First team level, and of course going back down through the years, a host of famous Juventus defenders to look up to for them. And of course it's equally the same for the Nerazzurri. Juventus trying to put the final nail in the coffin, if you like, and extinguish any faint hopes Inter have of conjuring up something. As the cameras pick up, Franco Carboni eventually makes his way back towards the dugout and the bench. Another one, you can't fault the commitment of Carboni, just like the rest of the players. Just doesn't appear to be Inter's day. And Juventus on course to take the mini Derby d'Italia spoils here. Turicchia. And the captain has a crack from distance and stings the gloves of Bottis. The Juve skipper having a go there. Ervin Omic. Danger not over. There's the header. And it was a whisker wide. It's the substitute, Christian Sekularac, who's had a really good impact. Come on with a real good attitude, the right approach. And it will certainly please his coach, Andrea Bonatti. Managed to get ahead of Andy Hotti there. As we see a replay of that effort from the Juve skipper. I don't know if it was on target or not, but quite rightly, Nicolas Bottis taking no risks in those situations. Have to make the save and be certain. Taken quickly by Inter. Come on, lads. Can they get a goal? They deserve it. Zanotti. Low ball in. Able to get it beyond the first man. Zanotti starting to feel a bit of tiredness, and it would be understandable. Really, he's run his socks off, Mattia Zanotti. Led from the front, led by example. The Inter skipper, and here he is once again. He won't give up. To the last minute, he'll keep going. Tireless, and that occasion, though, unable to get beyond his mark. He has to backtrack here. Juve coming forward on the break. Turicchia now. Options right, left, and centre for the Bianconeri. Back towards Turicchia. Who's dispossessed by who? Yep, you've guessed it. Mattia Zanotti. Back and forth. Non-stop from Zanotti. Duracell Bunny just keeps on going. Still has fuel in the tank. The Inter youngster. There's Nunziatini, of course, having come off, coming on from the bench in this second half. Owusu now. What can he conjure up from this position? Thinks about the give and go. There'll be a lot of tired legs out there now, especially in the Inter camp, having given so much. Juve perhaps more mentally having to stay focused and concentrate, close down the space, a different kind of exertion. Head to Inter's physicality, playing a lot of the ball, left, right, and centre, through the middle. Zanotti rides that challenge still. Zanotti plays it back. Up in the air. It's won by Inter. Although it's eventually claimed by Senko. He'll just take his time here. In no rush, you can bet your bottom dollar to get things going. Route 1 stuff from Senko through the middle. Otti. Now Pellamatti, the substitute, jumping up. Nunziatini in there quick. Nice feet from him. Gets it into space. Zanotti wants options. Let's go back to Nunziatini, the young Tuscan. Zanotti went looking for Goffi. The idea was right. Nice run in behind the defence from Riccardo Goffi, and Zanotti spotted that. And Zanotti's certainly one of the candidates, if not the candidate, for Inter man of the match. As for Juventus, there's plenty of candidates. to take that crown. Kezadeh. Goffi. Abuso out wide. Peschetola onto his right foot, twisting, turning, trying to find half a yard for a shot or a cross of Usu. Zanotti's in support. Here is Zanotti. Still Zanotti has time and space. Needs a good delivery, and that's not the best of deliveries, but we can forgive him. He's been almost faultless this afternoon, Mattia Zanotti. Trying to pick out Pelamatti, his colleague from the other flank. Just overhit it. He tried to feed Pelamatti. It's the final 30 seconds plus added time. Juventus so close to victory, they can taste it. Been more clinical. They defended exceptionally well in the second half as well. Inter, they've huffed and they've puffed, but they've just been unable to blow down the Bianconeri house. No real clear-cut chances in the second half from Inter. Still plenty of positives to take looking forward. Nunziatini swings one in. Goffi straight at Senko. Put it down into the ground. I think that also took a lot of the pace and the sting out of the cross as well. 3 minutes of added time. That's for Inter. They'll look to take the positive. A very aggressive start to the match when they did have the opportunities to take the lead. To work on being perhaps a bit more clinical. I know the approach and the attitude has been there from the first minute to the last. For Juventus, we've already mentioned 3 precious points after a shaky start to the campaign, after back-to-back defeats in the league. It puts them back on track and helped them head in the right direction again. They went into round 4, went into this match down in 13th place. Inter, their first loss of the campaign at home and abroad. They have a chance though to hit back right away against Shakhtar next week in the Youth League. That's the beauty of football. A second chance always lies around the corner. And then, as we've already mentioned as well, then the Youth Championship takes a break until mid-October, but we'll be back soon. Don't you worry about that. Time will fly. And we're looking forward to bringing you more youth team matches. As Christian Kivu's boys look to hit back in the league, bounce back, and stake their claim as one of the title candidates for the season after last year's semi-final finish under Armando Madonna. 3 years at the helm for him. And Christian Kivu in his first season in charge with the under-19s. Still cutting his teeth at this level, but learning by the week, just like the rest of his players. Peschetola now can Inter at least get a consolation strike, perhaps. Abuso. Referee gives the advantage. Pelamatti plays it in. It's hooked away. Goffi battling away here on this near side with Turicchia. And he scored Juve's second. Peschetola now pokes it towards to Goffi. And Juventus survive the scare. So via Galante, via, get it away to Galante. That's the cry from Andrea Bonatti in the Juventus dugout. Final 30 seconds. And naturally, tiredness creeping in. Are we going to have any more changes? Doesn't look like it. Seem to have used up all of theirs. Goffi, hopeful ball in. It's a deep one. One last roll of the dice for Inter to try and get a consolation goal. Peschetola. Juve say no, not today. And there it is. It's the Bianconeri that take the mini Derby d'Italia spoils, running out 2-0 winners. Both goals coming in the first half from Turco and Turicchia. Juventus just more clinical. Inter will look to bounce back next week in the UEFA Youth League, and they'll look to build on their very aggressive start to the match. So plenty of positives to take for Christian Kivu's boys, but they end up on the losing side, their first loss of the season, whereas Juventus return to winning ways and quite rightly enjoy their victory this afternoon. That's all from myself, your match commentator Thomas Lawrence of Inter TV. Leave you once more with the final score: Inter 0, Juventus 2.